Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the FreeMelon Society. I'm Eli Martyr, and I'm happy that you're here with me today because I'm going to share with you a little experience that I felt I was obligated to try just because lots of people have tried it. And as the title suggests, I did celery juice for currently 2 weeks. And I just wanted to share my experience with how it feels like, what happens, and in my particular case, I'm a good test subject because I'm already a fairly clean eater, as you might know. And so maybe someone out there is curious as to what happens when a fruitarian, as like myself, does the celery juice thing, the medical medium, drink celery juice in the morning, and then, I guess, whatever else, anything goes for the rest of the meals of the day. I haven't read the book. I'm assuming that there are some dietary restrictions as well, or some dietary loose guidelines. But it seems to be that the cleanse is just drink celery juice in the morning, and then treat your body like an amusement park for the rest of for the rest of the day. Right? I'm sure that's not the instruction, but there doesn't really seem to be any strict guidelines for what you do. Is this a cleanse, or is this just tossing an apple into an otherwise poo and sand smoothie, right? I'm already going way off topic. Okay, so celery juice, the medical medium celery juice thing. Does it cleanse? Does it work? Is it healthy? All that kind of stuff. So I thought first what we would do is I would just go over, because I went through YouTube and I just explored a whole bunch of videos and just jotted down some notes as to what people typically feel. So typically what people are doing is they're going for either a week or 2 weeks, or maybe even more. Some people have gone several months. Some people, there was one here that went for a year. There were more. But generally speaking, people typically find changes. It's a mixed bag. Some people found that they had positive results and they noticed positive benefits. Other people noticed that not really much changed. But the common denominator that I noticed with everybody is that there were some changes. They noticed things happening, whether for the good or whether for the worse. Well, actually, I shouldn't say for the worse. It's always for the better. Your body's not stupid. It's always going to take good nutrition and do something beneficial with it. But whether it was perceived negatively or positively. So why don't I just read a couple of these to you? This YouTuber goes, day one, I definitely don't think I can drink the whole 16 ounces. Oh, by the way, the protocol is that you drink 16 ounces of celery juice in the morning on an empty stomach. Okay, so I have been doing exactly that. More than 16 ounces, I would say. My juicer is really efficient. I have an Angel juicer, so the thing is a beast, and it gets a lot of juice from the same amount of relative food quantity. So I've been drinking a bit more than 16 ounces. Sometimes it's worked out to a liter. Other times less. Other times like over 16 ounces of juice. So the minimum is 16 ounces. You drink it on an empty stomach, and then you have to wait for a good amount of time, 20 minutes or so, until you have your next meal. So that's exactly what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks so far. Okay, let's get into some of these comments that are describing what they felt. Day one, I definitely don't think I can drink the whole 16 ounces. To be honest with you, my stomach is turning a little bit. It could be because this is the first thing I'm drinking on an empty stomach. I haven't even had water. I do feel like I'm going to vomit. I felt nauseous after drinking the celery juice. I felt less bloating, less cravings for chocolate and ice cream. I have such a sweet tooth. The same YouTuber by day 5 says I don't have the same reaction to the celery juice as I did the first day. So I'm increasing the dose. Overall, general summary, I didn't notice much of a difference. Okay, so yeah, so not too much of a difference, but definitely upset stomach and whatnot within the first couple days of the program. Here's another YouTuber. The first day I drank this, shuddering, that it was not good. It's just not good. Did not like it. So apparently the taste was not good. This is something that's pretty common too. People drinking the celery juice and they're just like, ooh, they're just like hating it. At least at first, and then they grow to like it. That's a typical thing that you're seeing with these videos. Here's another YouTuber. I don't like it one bit. Spent a lot of time in the bathroom, more than normal. I think it was because of the celery juice. Generally felt more energy at the gym. Okay, that's a positive outcome. I've learned a few things the past few days. My bowel movements were a bit weird, but then went back to normal after. Felt more hydrated. Felt like I needed less water. That's pretty interesting. I mean, I know the celery juice is very high water content, and Of course, there's, if you get into the medical medium stuff, there's the cluster salt thing and how these haven't been recognized by mainstream medical science, which doesn't surprise me. There's not much that's recognized by mainstream medical science, or nutritional science, I should say. But we'll get into that later. Here's another YouTuber. Oh God, no. It's not bad, but it's definitely not good. Speaking about the celery juice, the taste. My goal is to make myself like it. The celery juice keeps you regular. It makes you poop. Okay, so I guess that's a benefit. It makes you poop, according to this YouTuber. Definitely gives you a nice little boost in the morning. I'm actually starting to like it a bit. Okay, so as the days went on, they started to like it a bit. I can definitely tolerate it now. It fills you up, so you eat less. That's interesting. Okay. Another YouTuber says, let me just scroll down here. My skin literally cleared up during this whole week. You can't just drink celery juice and think everything is going to be okay. That's a good point. You need to eat healthy too. As far as bloating, I see a huge difference. Today, when I woke up, I was like, curse word. I was skinny. And also by the end, I didn't go to the bathroom way more than usual. So yeah, some interesting results there. And yeah, you'll find that, some people have their skin start to clear up a little bit. The washroom reports are very, very common. A lot of YouTubers have found that they had to go to the washroom soon after drinking the celery juice, or it gave them diarrhea, or anyway, bathroom related changes. Here's another YouTuber. On day 1, I was bloated, gassy, and uncomfortable. And there was no chance of me going to the bathroom. Oh, that's interesting. So constipation, it sounds like. It didn't settle. There was something wrong with my tummy. Day 3, I've been really bloated. My stomach has been sore for 7 days. And by day 7, my skin was breaking out. Stomach was still very irritated. Guys, I should let you know, I'm paraphrasing here. I've taken notes, and some are direct quotes. Others are, I'm just paraphrasing. Okay. Just in the interest of time. So stomach irritation, even up to day 7. Here's another YouTuber. The first 3 or 4 days or so, I didn't notice any difference at all. Okay, well, didn't notice any difference in the first 3 days at all. After the 4 days, I had some diarrhea. It was pretty bad, but I was hungover, so... Oh, it's so interesting what we want to do when we are apparently on a cleanse. It was pretty bad. I was hungover, so can I really say it was because of the celery juice? Okay, this same YouTuber, by the end of a 7-day celery juice cleanse, I guess, if you want to call it that. Key takeaways here, I didn't notice too much of a difference. I think that if you're already a healthy individual and you feel fine and you feel good and you're eating a healthy plant-based diet, then I don't think it's necessary to add this in your diet. If you have a bad diet, it's not going to fix your bad diet. Perfect. Yeah, wonderful advice, and I couldn't agree more with that. Right? It's not going to fix a healthy diet. It's not going to fix a bad diet. If you're eating well, if you're eating healthy, then do you need to add it? I mean, well, we'll see. So let's get into how it affected me. I've been doing celery juice now in the morning on an empty stomach, sometimes on a ridiculously empty stomach. So, a day and a half after a short fast. Very, very often I've had the celery juice on 20 to 24 hours of not eating. So yeah, trying to do it very, very correctly. 16 ounces or slightly more, sometimes up to a liter, but no more than that. And then I would wait either 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes a couple hours before eating my first meal of the day. Okay, without further ado, how did the celery juice cleanse affect me? And this is great because this is going to be a really short video. The celery juice cleanse did absolutely nothing. It changed absolutely zero in my life. I went from being very regular and very energetic to being very regular and very energetic. Did I notice any digestive changes or diarrhea or upset stomach or any changes at all? Anything to notice? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I didn't notice one goddamn thing. My GI motility works really fast and efficiently. It's like a pack of wild stallions that have been sufficiently deranged by a particularly startling noise. It's just, don't imagine that I'll notice anything when I stop doing the celery juice if I continue to eat as I do. Did I have any sleep disturbances or sleep improvements? No, sleep is fine. Everything was I literally noticed not one noticeable thing so far. 2 weeks of celery juice in the morning. Now, I don't think I need to continue doing this for too long. It's been 2 weeks. I've still got a little, bunch of celery in the fridge, so I might ride that out. But I really don't feel like it's something that is really benefiting me. Unless I were to do a juice cleanse, then it would be just as beneficial as any other juice. So whether I stop it right away or whether I continue on for a little while, I guess, I'll leave that up to my own discretion.
Scorpion.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, seriously, that's it. Like, no changes at all. I mean, the only change that I kind of noticed is that now I have a fixation and attraction to hippopotami. But that is probably not the celery juice. That's probably just because of some childhood trauma or something. But yeah, it's not relevant. And I think what this teaches me, health and wellness, immunity, all of these wonderful things, they all work on the same principle, right? It's avoiding what hurts you and taking in what is good for you in moderation. Of course, if you want to see my video on moderation, the myth of moderation, you can go take a look through my videos and then find that. That's also a great lecture for you to watch. You would be very hard pressed to find a lack of optimal nutrition in any plant-based food. The whole spectrum of human foods, okay? Human foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, okay? The human foods that you can eat and tolerate with your own natural senses. You'd be hard pressed to find foods that don't do your body well. Now, as for the sodium cluster salts, okay, so the element in the celery juice that is claimed by the medical medium to have these properties, these incredible cleansing properties. Here's the thing about that. Now, it's said that these properties are not yet recognized by science, and I'm inclined to completely agree with that. What I would suggest, though, however, is that we already know that we understand a fractional amount of what the type and quantity and character and color of nutrition is in the whole food spectrum. Nutritional science is in its infancy. There've got to be hundreds and thousands of phytochemicals and phytonutrients and enzymes and coenzymes and cofactors and all sorts of things and minerals, whatever. There's tons of stuff that we just have no idea exists. There are energetic principles in foods that we haven't even touched on. It's just nowhere in our nutritional discussion. So the point is, if we're willing to concede that there are unrecognized scientifically discovered nutrients in celery juice, then what about all the rest of the fruits, right? Wouldn't there be a concomitant amount of unknown, undiscovered nutrients that are doing us wild benefits in everything, in the papaya, in the apple, in the grape, in the pear, in the this, and the that? These unknown chemicals, I don't want to say chemicals, that's the wrong connotation, but these unknown, undiscovered compounds and enzymes and phytonutrients, they probably exist in absolutely everything. So is it the celery juice that is giving you the benefit? Or is it simply living as close to the natural human diet with moderation and discipline and avoiding the cultural contraptions and landmines of dietary ignorance? Is that what is important? And it seems that it is. I noticed absolutely, literally zero perturbances at all. Zero turbulences, zero changes, zero disruption in how my life feels day to day with the addition of some juice in the morning. Oh, and by the way, of all the people that I looked at on YouTube who were having issues with the taste of the celery juice, the first time I tried it, I took it down and I'm like, oh, this is delicious. It's absolutely delicious. I mean, I didn't know what these people were talking about. I'm like, this is juice. This is wonderful juice. It tastes fine. So I'm wondering, I'm like, what are these people eating? Because very, very few of these people describe what they were doing dietary-wise in the context of a cleanse, which is funny because if you're on a cleanse, guys, you can't have your cake and eat it too, okay? If you're cleansing, right, you've got to be cleansing. If you're going to do celery juice, you might as well be on a juice cleanse, okay? We're always trying to do the very comfortable thing. We want to be a junk food vegan, or we want to be a keto, paleo, wildebeest breath eater. We want to do all these things and add some celery juice in the morning and think that we're in for some sort of cleansing. It's like, it doesn't work like that. And lots of YouTubers mentioned this, right? So I'm crediting them. A lot of people did recognize this as well. It's not just me. And lots of people actually report that overall they didn't really feel many changes. Okay, so I'm not the only one here. However, I didn't encounter one person who noticed zero changes whatsoever. And I'm the only person, as far as I know, that literally this regime made not a lick of difference. Not a lick. So to wrap this up, how do I rationalize my experience in the context of all the other experiences? I'm just going to say that when your diet and when your lifestyle is actually clean, okay, it's not the food, the individual particular food that makes the difference. It's how much you can get out of the way of nature's intelligence working in your body. That determines the character and quality of your health and wellness. And then the addition of this food or that juice or that juice, it's just going to be business as usual. It's just going to be, nutrients coming in. And it's not going to be encountering or running into all this garbage that people have in their stomachs. You know, people are drinking all sorts of like coffees and stimulants, and they're eating this, and they have the oils, and they just whatever. Okay. So you have some celery juice, or maybe it's any kind of juice. I don't know. What would a big glass of lemon juice do every morning? Maybe that's the next miracle thing. Okay, who knows? It could be anything. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's celery enemas. Okay, and I'm not talking about juice. Maybe it's maybe you take the entire stalk of celery and you jam that up into your sigmoid colon. Maybe that's the secret to cleansing. All right. It's probably not that. Anyhow, the final thing I will say is that lots of people noticed positive benefits. There was lots of episodes of healing, so people had their skin clear up. People noticed that, I think there were one or two that noticed more energy in the gym or exercising or whatnot. There were positive benefits scattered here and there. So if you want to try the cleanse, go for it. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to contribute. It's only going to make things better. If you experience some perturbances here and there, then maybe it's just because the cleansing nature of the celery is running through your system and it's interacting with some dietary riffraff that's in your body, and it's causing whatever to happen. So go for it, try it out. Is it a necessary thing? Is it a cleanse that you need to try if you're trying to get healthier? Absolutely not. And there are much more efficient ways to go about cleansing than to simply add now a fairly expensive root juice into your routine. You can do this cleansing by saving a lot more on your wallet, namely by doing nothing. that'll cleanse you right out. Right? Apples, you could go on an apple cleanse. It's not as comfortable because you don't get to eat the same garbage you've always been eating. You have to actually discipline yourself. You have to, you got to man up. You got to woman up and just like say, hey, I'm doing this. And don't just be like, oh yeah, but I want to do this and this and this while I cleanse. And I don't want to feel bad. Well, tough luck. All right, that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Tell me in the comments if you've tried this. If you've tried this celery juice. I'm so reluctant to call it a cleanse because it's not. You just eat like normal throughout the rest of the day. Like it's just... Anyhow, if you've tried this before, let me know how it went for you, what you experienced, whether it was a positive thing, whether you experienced really not much at all. And because there's going to be a lot of people that experience not much at all if you're on a relatively healthy diet. You're going to have a similar experience as I did. Anyhow, subscribe if you like what I'm doing here. And we'll see you on the next one, guys. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Scorpion.